So this video is to show you how to download and run Eclipse on your Windows machine. I have included on Blackboard under Content, and then if you go to Programming Assignments or see Programming Assignments, I'm in the process of uploading a lot of the programming assignments, but the thing that's important is how to install Eclipse CDT for programming on your Windows machine. And if you want to be able to see it in the full view, you can open it in a second window. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to be going step by step. I'm not going to be following along with the full PDF. Well, actually, I'm going to be following along with the full PDF. I'm not going to have it open here. You can have it open in another window as you're doing this. So what you'll see is this is what it's going to look like when you're done. And then there's a number of different pages. You have to be able to check to see if you have Java JDK, the Java Development Kit, obtain GCC compiler, download and initialize the actual Eclipse CDT, C development tool, and then initializing a project. So I'm going to show you how to do Hello World here. So what's going to happen is the first thing you're going to do is going to check to see if you have the Java Development Kit. So if you're using Windows 10, you can type command prompt and you can click here. And so if you type Java C, you're going to see, like we have here, if you do not have Java JDK, you need to run something like this on your machine. If you do have it, you'll get a list of commands. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to this website. If you go to Google here, and the first thing you type in is Java JDT into the JDK, Java Development Kit. You go to the first link, and it's going to show you an option for either Java downloads or NetBeans once it actually decides to download. So you see here, you're going to click on Java. Do not click on NetBeans. Click on Java, and then it's going to give you a number of different options. At the bottom of the options list, you're going to see Windows x64, JDK-8U60-Windows.x64.exe. You're going to actually want to click and download this file here. Now, for the sake of the I have already downloaded it for you, so it is downloaded at this time. So once the file downloads, you're going to want to run it. So actually begin running the program here, and click yes, and then you're going to go through a number of steps. Preparing to install, you're going to click next, and it's going to run through a status here to be able to show you how to do this. Now what we're going to be doing is after it actually installs, we're going to be manipulating the program files to be able to indicate where our bin file is for the JDK as well as the JRE. So we can kind of get started as it's deciding not to install. What you're going to be doing is you're going to go to File Explorer. In this case, you're going to see then Program Files, and then you're going to actually be able to see Java here. It is not installing quite yet, so extracting the installer here. So once it shows up, what you're going to be able to see is you're going to be able to see a folder that says Java. So again, this PC, C, Program Files, and then Java once it's done. So you give it a split second here. So what you're going to be able to see when we go in here is, okay, so far it's installed the JDK. And it's still running here. And now it's gone to status again. So what it's going to be doing is it's going to be installing the Java Runtime environment. So you're going to see a next set of file here, JRE 818.0_60. It's going to create a second folder here. So you click next. And so now it's installing Java, and it's telling you that 3 billion devices run Java. while it's installing, I'll quickly tell you that Java runs off the Java virtual machine in order to be able to interact with any operating system. So it tries to disassociate from the computer architecture. The drawback of that, as we are finding out, is that it tends to run a little slower because it has to be able to try to figure out which machine you're running and then run it on that native compiler. So it can be a little bit of a challenge. So should be almost done here in a second. And then we click close. So now we see where our files are. So you're going to click here, and there's going to be a folder named bin. What you want to do is you want to click here, Control C that, so that way you can actually copy the exact path of the JDK. And so what you need to do is go into Control Panel, and then you need to find System. You type System here. It actually brings up, or System. I can type in System and Security. That should do it. Okay, so this is exactly what I was looking for. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to click on Advanced System Settings. And then, so that what I just did in your steps is just one F. And then you're going to click on Environment Variables. And then under System Variables, you will see something called Path. So right now it actually has some of the stuff because I've already installed min.gw on here. But click Edit. And so you're going to want to get rid of all of this except the min.gw stuff. So all the program oracles here. Let's see. So everything except those two. And then Control V it to add the bin for the JDK. Now add a semicolon. Do not click OK yet, because what you're going to want to do is you're going to go back to bin, go back to Java, go to JRE, bin, click here, you'll get the path, Control C again, minimize it, and then after the semicolon, do Control V. So what I've just done is I've just done one F and one G in your steps, and then as you can see on page 4, you won't, in your page 4, you won't have these yet. I've already installed min.gw, which will be step 2. I did that because you have to restart the computer in order to do that properly. But click OK, and then click OK, and then click OK. And so the moment of truth here is we go back to command prompt and see what happens when we type Java C, and it has put up all these commands, so we did this successfully. And so that is the end of page 4. So page 5 is goes to step 2. Again, you are going to go online. I've downloaded this already, but I'm going to show you the steps on how to download the GCC, which is the GNU combined compiler. So the first step you're going to want to do is you want to go to equation.com. And then what you're going to do is when it pops up, you're going to see a bunch of choices on the left-hand side. One of those choices is going to be Programming Tools. So you click on Programming Tools. And then click on Fortran, C, C++. And then what's going to happen here is it's going to have a number of different options. I'm going to show you which one you specifically want. So first it has a number of exe files and different releases. Goes in opposite order. So 5.1.0 is the most recent version. You're going to want to click on gcc-5.1.0-64.exe, and you're going to want to download that. So save link, you're going to download it. I have already downloaded this, so let's go back here. So you're going to run the executable file. And so it's going to take a split second, but what you're going to be able to do is see. It's going to extract everything. Usually it takes a split second. It'll hover around 17 or 21 based on the times I've done this. But what's going to happen is it's going to give you a general purpose public license for you to approve. you're going to click accept, and then you're going to go through a couple of steps. There's one step in particular that's very important. We are in the process of doing 2D. 2E, you're just going to click accept once it has the prompt. But 2F, you have to do what I'm going to do here. So this is 2E. Click accept. Now here, I've already done this probably. It's probably going to pop something else up different. So you're going to do /min GW. That's 2F. It's very important that you do this. If you don't do this, it'll be very difficult for you to be able to run the program. So then you're going to want to click install. And so it's going to take a little while here to extract all the files. Now, we have already got this working properly. So we're not going to have to uninstall or reinstall, log out or log back into the program. You're going to need to go in, log out, and log back in, and then everything's going to be fine. So just give it a split second here. What we're going to be doing next, while it's doing that, is you're going to go to eclipse.com/downloads. Oh, I should be very clear. Definitely do 64.exe. Do not do 32.exe. There are issues. I don't know why it said data in it. eclipse.org/downloads. And so it pops this up. It means it's working properly. It's going to give you this. And then click finish. You are going to be fine. Unable to access network. What's going on here with my inner tubes? We are connected. Reload. So what normally happens, you go into Eclipse, you're going to see a number of different options. And there's going to be one there specifically for the Eclipse IDE for C/C++ developers. You're going to want to select the 64-bit version. Okay, so it did work this time. And so you scroll down here as Java developers, C++ developers. You're going to want to select 64-bit. And then what's going to do is it's going to take you to an Eclipse downloads mirror. A lot of sites all over the place will have the actual Eclipse C or C++ mirror. The file is called Eclipse cpp-mars. Their IDE, they call it Mars. You're going to want to click on this orange button when you get this, and you're going to download it. Again, for the purposes of this demonstration, I've already downloaded it. So here's what I typically do in these situations. You're going to want to take the zip file, take it out here. Minimize that. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So one of the good things about Windows Explorer is now it allows you to actually be able to just go straight into here. I'm going to take Eclipse and move it to the desktop. And so it's going to take a split second to do this. This is good because it allows you to actually unzip files without requiring WinZip or any other for pay software, especially since 7-zip is no longer supported. The important thing to note here is that by taking this, the min-GW, we are going to be able to properly use the GCC compiler. GCC compiler is the standard compiler that you're going to be using. We're going to be talking about ANSI C in class probably today, if not, then Thursday. But basically, you want to have standard code, and you want to be able to run on any standard compiler. What you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to rename the folder here. As you can see, we can start seeing the folder up here. I typically will rename this Eclipse-C to differentiate it because I also have Eclipse for Java. And that allows you to be able to keep these separate. I also will keep the workspace. I'm going to show you an example here. I actually will put the workspace in that same folder so that way I can keep my Java code separate from my C code. Now, the other thing you're going to want to worry about here is making sure you set it up properly. the idea of the workspace is where all of your code is going to be. When you submit your programs, when you're done, you're going to go to Workspace, and you can go like this. You're going to go into here, you go to your code, and this is where all of your code is. So this is a program I've been writing. And if you want, when you submit, the easiest thing to do and not have to worry about anything else is just zip and WinZip, add to zip file, and you're going to see a src zip file in this folder, and you can rename it project whatever. Just can't use WinZip, so hopefully the 7-zip is available. Share with zip and share. All right, so anyway, you're going to want to get 7-zip or something like that on your computer to be able to zip this. Or you can just upload all of your C and header files up to Blackboard. I would prefer you had it in one zip file, so that way when you do so, I can just unzip it, put it right into a project, run it, and see how it's working. So we are 51% complete. I don't think I have 7-zip on here. So it just means that right now it's copying all the different files that's required in order to be able to run the program. So we're going to sit here for a second. I can't fast forward in real time, but what you can do is you can look in your video, and once it says 100%, you can rejoin.
Oh, that was a...
All right, so now that we're done, you want to open this up and you're going to click on Eclipse. Now I will, as I said I would do earlier, just rename that to C. Then click on this application for Eclipse, and it's going to bring up the opportunity for you to create a workspace. So this is the next space, because this is where I was just describing a moment ago about where all of your code is going to be once you're actually done. All right, so here would try to have a normal workspace. I'm going to go to eclipse.c, and then you can actually create a new folder. I'll call it Workspace. So then, where'd it go? And then click on Workspace. Be done with that. Use this as default and do not ask me again. And now it's going to bring up a prompt tab here once it starts loading everything up here. It's going to basically say, give you an overview and tutorials and samples and what's new. We're going to be skipping over all that, and we're going to be creating a hello world after we modify some preferences to ensure that we have our GCC compiler in and running properly. So here's the welcome screen I was just telling you about, and you can just kind of get out of there and then move this over. And so what we need to do before we do anything else, before you start creating projects or do anything else, we need to start updating some general workspace information. So we go to we go to Window and Preferences. And so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on General and then Workspace. So you click here, General, and then Workspace. Now, what you need to do is you need to change from Default to Other, and then click UTF-8. And then from New Text File, let's go from Windows to Unix, and then click Apply. Now don't click OK yet, because we're going to be sticking in here. We're going to go get rid of General, and then go to C++, and then we're going to go to New C++ Project. So this is the settings that's going to use every time we create a new C++ project. Now, we now know that the min-GW GCC was properly done because you can select min-GW and then click Apply, and then click OK. So now it has properly selected the compiler that we used to use. Oh, I screwed something up here. Preferences, GCC. So when you do this, empty project, min, and then click Make Toolchains Preferred. So now it has done our min-GW GCC. Now click Apply, then click OK. So fortunately in my documentation that you'll be using, I do make sure to tell you to say Make Toolchains Preferred. So now we're going to actually create a project. So we're going to go in here and go File, New, C Project. And then what you're going to do is you're going to type Hello World. And again, it's already selected empty project and min-GW GCC. Go away. Click Next, and then click Finish. Now, before you do anything in these projects, what you need to do is you're going to need to right-click and go to Properties. And you need to run Debug Settings. And if there's anything there, you need to delete it. Now, oftentimes it'll create one when you need to go in there. So you go to Select Hello World, click New, File, Hello World.c, then click Finish. And it's going to take a split second to add everything. So again, Properties, run Debug Settings. You guys are fortunate. If there had been a thing here, it actually would not have compiled. It would have given you an error telling you that the binary couldn't be generated. So you're in really good shape as of the moment. So here, what we're going to do next is you can actually go to the Blackboard here and you scroll all the way down. And I have included a sample Hello World program for you, which you can scroll down and copy. Control C, then go back to Eclipse and do Control V. It does not have the perfect indentation like I normally like, so let's just create some white space. And then you can do all these. So the first thing you want to do, you see how it has a debug here. It says symbol std out could be not resolved. If you press save, it's going to go away. std out, as we'll discuss, comes from the standard IO library. So now the next thing you need to do is don't click run. It's going to say launch failed binary found. What you need to do is you need to build. There's multiple ways of building. You go to project, you can click build all. You can also select Control B. Also, this button here is also build all. So select build all, and it builds everything. If you go to console, it'll show you precisely what happened. So any compiler error, actually any compiler errors probably showed up in problems, but your console is linking all your files as a GCC. We're going to discuss what these flags mean. But the idea is that it's taking GCC and now it's creating a output file, and now it's creating an executable. So now what you can do here, once you build, is then run. Oh, now you're going to have a problem. So good, it generated that error. That's what I thought was going to show up was Hello World Debug, and then you can delete that and click OK. Check build all. And then click run, and Hello World should be nothing to build. I just ran into this problem. What was the issue? Yep, build finished should be there. And then Hello World. There we go. So now it works. So now you've set it up and you've successfully run Hello World, and now it matches precisely as we see in our document here. You now have run it properly. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to upload this video, and the PDF is already there, and you'll receive an email here in a second.